I finally got over the hump on this idle animation and now have it sort of almost there. The offsets are in, the timing is working, so now it's just a matter of scaling things so that it feels right. So what was the trick? Well, my instructor gave us a demo the other night that was a real eye-opener for me. The biggest thing that I got out of it was that I was spending a ton of time counter animating and not even realizing it. And the obstacle that I'd been fighting was a world space versus object space issue. Let's take the relationship of the hips here to the chest for an example. I want to be comparing the ups and downs on these two objects so that I can offset them by a few frames. That then allows for the appearance of drag, follow through, and overlap. So if I select this hip controller here and I go to the graph editor and I look at my up and down, you can see that I'm affecting the translate Y. So let's go over here to this middle. It's a little easier to figure that out. So I'm moving this up and down. I'm affecting that Y translation. So if I grab the chest controller, and let's just isolate the translate controls, and I start moving it up and down, I'm affecting all three translations. Now why is that? Well, I'm using the translate tool in world space right now, and if I move it to object space, well, you can see what's going on here. The chest control, in its space, Y is this diagonal thing going on. So if I'm in world space, I'm affecting all of those, just like I see in the graph editor. If I do that again, I'm affecting all three translate values. So this is what I was fighting. It's comparing apples to oranges. All right, so how can I fix this? Well, there's scripts and there's tools out there that can help you do this for sure. But I'm old, I'm crotchety, and I'm cheap. So I did it the old-fashioned way. What I did was I created a locator, and if I go here into wireframe mode, there it is, right there. So I've got this locator in the middle of his chest. Bring that back up into shaded mode. And you can see up here I've made a picker for it. So what I've got now is the chest control is constrained to this locator. So I'm going to animate the locator instead of the chest control. And if I bring up the graph editor, and we'll look at all the translate values, if I move the locator up and down, I'm only affecting Y. And that's what's going to allow me to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. Here is the first version that I had this week with the offsets working pretty well. Now the next thing to work on is getting those inhale and exhale poses, well, they should be held longer. So right now the inhale does last longer than the exhale, which is pretty accurate, but you want to hold those poses. So it's a matter of going into the graph editor and adjusting the curves. What that does is gives me version 2. So now you can see there's a quicker transition from the two poses, and I'm holding each on either end a little bit longer. Now the attack animation is a whole other story. What I think we decided is if this is going to go on a reel, that it was really just too long. I had a light attack into a heavy attack into a combo attack, and there wasn't any real texture or rhythm to it. It was just hit, 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 hit. I mean, there needs to be fast parts and slow parts and, kind of in the middle parts and all that good stuff. So the plan is to break it up into smaller chunks. I'm going to go ahead and cut that first attack entirely. I spent an awful lot of time on that, trying to get it to kind of a polished stage, and it still had some problems. So I'll look at that as a really good study in body mechanics. And then we'll take this second attack here and the combo attack and make them their own separate animations. Now, I haven't been able to work on this combo attack yet, and I'm still fleshing out this here, what you're watching, this second attack. So that's where I am right now. And that's it for week 4. I'm bracing myself for week 5. Thanks for watching.